Hey, it's Wild Bill with Western Edge Living, and we're visiting with my friend Kelly Brown with Farmers Union Insurance and Make-A-Wish. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, Bill.
Yeah, Kelly.
Thanks for having me on.
You bet, absolutely. In fact, you were one of the first persons I thought of when we were, designing Western Edge Living and what it's going to be. But here you are, and he is going to be on an episode upcoming on Western Edge Living. But we've got an event that we wanted to talk to you about today, that when you told me about this, it was just truly amazing. The Kreitingers. We met them several years ago, got to be good friends with them, and they're back on the radar of Make-A-Wish again for the second time. Tell the story.
In a way, a third time. Zeke got a wish, and then Jocelyn received her wish.
Okay.
And her wish was to be a princess for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of an interesting story because we had a guy thought she needed a knight, contacted the Knights of Mayhem. In the process of them telling him what we were doing, this guy just booked his plane tickets to fly to Dickinson.
While he was on the phone, while they were...
We didn't even ask him to come. We were trying to find a costume.
Yeah, you were looking for a costume, and while you're talking to him, he's online booking his flight.
He booked his flights, yep.
I was so moved by the story.
Yeah, and so then he came and he showed up and spent the afternoon with Jocelyn and her family and became attached.
Uh-huh.
And it's always been like his dream to joust in front of his princess.
Wow.
And he's going to be in Watford City this upcoming week. Uh-huh. And he called me and asked if he stayed over an extra week, could we find a place for him to joust for his princess?
Okay, you might have seen the article, a great article in the Dickinson Press about Jousting For Jocelyn.
Yeah.
And it kind of tells the story. But we are looking forward to the event. It's going to be June 23rd, I believe.
Yep, June 30th.
At the Rancherama Rodeo Arena in Medora. And we're going to have jousting.
Yeah.
But let's back up a little bit. First of all, when Jocelyn wanted to be princess for the day, what was all done?
Well, it was, at the time, we really hadn't done many actual wishes where we provided the whole wish.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't really know what to do. So that day, to be a princess, a little girl, you want to dress up. And so we had a dressing ceremony for her, and that's where Charlie showed up. And we ended up having a parade in Dickinson. And so the princess had a parade, and she had a little tea party at the Brick House Grill. And then from there, the Prairie Belle picked her up and hauled her down to Regent, because every princess should be in a castle.
Of course, yes.
And on the way to Regent, they had these stops where they stopped along the Enchanted Highway.
Uh-huh.
And at each of those stops, they had a couple of the different motorcycle riding groups in town. They had gifts for her at every stop.
Wow.
And then Regent totally outdid themselves. They had another parade. They had the streets shut down, I think, at 10 o'clock in the morning. So Main Street was wide open for these guys to show up. I think it was 4 in the afternoon or whatever it was,
Uh-huh.
And so she had a little party there. They had a ball, they did some dancing. And that's where Sir Charles, our knight, he robed her, which I didn't realize that you actually robe a princess. You don't necessarily crown them.
Okay.
And so he had a scroll made, hand painted the whole thing, had all of it like for her, the way he presented everything, and picked on the family a little bit, which they are. The family is very good-hearted, and that, it was right up their alley. It worked perfect. And really in that whole process of all of that, Charlie just kind of really fell for this little girl, and he's kept in contact with the family ever since. They've tried to make it work where when he was in Wyoming, but it didn't work out. In different places when he's got close, he's always said, hey, we're going to be jousting here, we're performing there, and it just hasn't worked well. So he wanted to come, like I said, he's coming to North Dakota, and so it's working this time.
Tell us a little bit more about Charlie. Charlie Andrews is the founder and captain of the Knights of Mayhem. He's out of Utah, correct?
Correct.
Okay. What is that? What does he do?
That's his job. He's he goes to Renaissance fairs, and him and his group put on jousting events, real live jousting. And he is the reigning 13-time world champion jouster.
Wow.
I didn't even know they had that type of a thing until I met him. And if you remember the Bud Light commercials where they had the dilly dilly, and they had the king. Well, the Bud Knight, that's Charlie.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh my. So he's nationally recognized.
Yeah.
For his jousting abilities and services that he provides.
Right.
Wow. So he was so moved by Jocelyn's story that he's taking the initiative to, well, first of all, he came up for the Princess for the Day, right?
Yep.
And now he's coming back to joust in front of his princess.
So he has to, like, I don't know how many are jousting in Watford City, but he has to keep at least one of those guys with him, so that they can joust. I mean, because I surely can't joust. You know,
we should mention too that Chris Kubel from the McKenzie County Ag Expo, he's the manager there. What a great guy he is. He's also part of this whole equation. He provided some carriages for Princess
the
Jocelyn.
carriage. His friend brought his carriage down from, I don't remember what town it is up north. And Chris was the one that contacted Charlie to start with. He was the one that thought, hey, you know what, we need to have a night. And so he started it. Well, now Chris is the one that's getting him back to Watford City to do the jousting. And they're jousting underneath motorcycles that are going to be jumping over the top of them or something.
That's something new. I'd never heard of that.
Yeah, so that's going to be kind of interesting up there. I think that's on the 13th.
Okay.
But then, like I said, Charlie called here and he wants to hang out. And his wife is dealing with some medical issues also. And of all things, on her bucket list of things to see was the Badlands of North Dakota. So it is all just worked out together.
Do you feel like this is some divine intervention going on here?
I truly believe there is.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, and we contacted the Theodore Roosevelt Medora Foundation and said, hey, you know, we got horses and he needs a place to keep his horses. And where else but Medora, North Dakota, do you think of horses? And
exactly,
you know, and so they were wonderful. I mean, right away it was, what can we do? How do we make this work? And Charlie and his crew, they need a place to stay. And right away the foundation said, you know what? We have some motels. We can maybe put them up and they're going to feed them. And I think they're sending them to the musical one night. They might even do a little performance before the musical.
Oh my.
And then round of golf. I mean, so everything has worked out just wonderful.
Jousting for Jocelyn, June 23rd, 3:30 p.m. at the Rancherama Rodeo Arena in Medora. And we'll get you on the Western Edge Living television show after the fact, and we will talk about it. And Make-A-Wish, you know, we hear about your benefit every March, you know, and it's one of the most successful things and well-tended events in Dickinson each spring. I know we've had things like a pandemic kind of interfere, and Mother Nature also, she has a say in that too. But we should note that Make-A-Wish, you're 24/7, 365, not just during the benefit in March, but you're always in motion.
We try to be. I mean, we live in such a wonderful community. I mean, as far as like the support and everything, I go to many different benefits and all kinds of things with it, and there's always just so much support, and that's where we're fortunate enough for a benefit that we do live here. We do have the support from the community. I mean, I can't imagine trying to do these things if you didn't have it, but the support here is great. And we're currently working, I think, on about 5 or 6 different wishes in Southwest North Dakota, our team of wish granters. It looks like we might pick up another 1 or 2 in the near future. And you know what, I mean, this whole thing started with Make-A-Wish, and Charlie's going to do this jousting, and it's going to be a free will offering, and all proceeds are going to go to Make-A-Wish. You know, so that's awesome. But you know, it does take the money to do it. It does take that, and there's quite a bit of time that the wish granters put in. It's not work. People always say, "Oh, you work so hard." It's not work. It's a labor of love. And to get to meet those families, those children, and to provide that happiness in their life when they're going through those medical hardships.
Worst moments of their lives.
Yeah. And to be able to provide a smile and a spark and positive energy is it's just amazing.
Wow, you are amazing. You even had the founder of Make-A-Wish, the lady
Linda Pauling.
She was here in Dickinson, and we got to spend some time with her. And if you get a chance to read the book, Little Bubblegum Trooper, it'll change your life. I've read it several times, and it's amazing. And I can't wait to follow up on our conversation. We'll continue this on Western Edge Living. Meanwhile, mark your calendars, June 23rd for Rancherama in Medora, and it's Jousting for Jocelyn. And looking forward to that. As we leave today, Kelly, is there any question that I haven't asked that you would like to share with the viewers here today, or you want to just hold on until we get together on television?
No, I mean, the only thing I would suggest or hope is that we have that place full. You know, we want her day to be extra special, but it's amazing.
Bring a friend, yes, absolutely. Thank you for your time. Thank you for what you do for Make-A-Wish, and we'll continue the conversation soon on Western Edge Living.
Sounds good.
Hi, Jocelyn. This is Charlie. It was an absolute honor and privilege to come down here and get to spend a day with you. I wish I could spend many days with you. Your love and light is just amazing. And it was so fun to be your knight and for you to be my princess. And the Knights of Mayhem will carry you for eternity. So your name will live on forever with our group as we always cherish and remember our princess and the queen of our heart, Jocelyn.